Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. We do keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Friday, lots of unsettled weather with two frontal systems, one stretching all the way from Montana across into the northern border of Nebraska, across Iowa, and back on up into the tip of Michigan, just about Sheboygan. Lots of unsettled weather ahead of that front, and of course a lot of unsettled weather across the Four Corners. Another front stretching all the way from Oklahoma City, across Little Rock, up to Nashville, all the way up to Pittsburgh, and then back to Raleigh. Will keep a whole mess of unsettled weather across the south, the southeast, and up the middle Atlantic seaboard. Looking at the vitality index, which is our measure of the individual weather elements that might have some difficulty, you can see that we're very much concentrated across the southern half of the country. Little bit of activity going on here, of course, in the Four Corners, even touching up into Nevada. Lots of activity, and looks like most of it is really along that frontal system, the second one from Oklahoma to Raleigh, and then a little bit of activity up here in the northern plains, again just on the south side of that front. Pressure change will not really be significant this time of the year. August, dog days of summer, it's very little pressure change, but we will have some rising pressure here across North Dakota into northern Minnesota, and a little bit here across Maine. Temperature changes. We're already really cooking for most of the country, but we can see that here in the Four Corners, this is a reflection of the showers, thunder showers, the monsoon showers and thunder showers. You'll note that here in the southeast, we have a little bit of bubble increase in temperatures across Arkansas, but then there is areas of falling temperatures. And again, this is just because of those frontal systems that are hanging around. Dew point temperature map, again, not too significant, although we are showing rising dew point temperatures here in the west, which will be significant there. The vapor pressure map is a lot more interesting with rising and falling dew point temperatures. Again, a lot of it right along the frontal system with falling behind the front, rising ahead of the front, and the same thing up here for the northern tier of the front where we have the rising vapor pressure on the south side of the front, some falling behind. Lifted index, again, with the frontal activity, and there is unsettled weather, and the lifted index shows some instability, especially here across the Tennessee Valley, but really showers and thunder showers across a large tier of the country. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, a really mishmash of little things going on, but migraine stresses, Central California, Western Washington, Western Oregon, quite a lot of activity here in the Four Corners. Most of it is migraine stresses, although note in northeast New Mexico, an asthma stress. We also have migraine stress here from Oklahoma City across Dallas down into Louisiana. And of course that extends us right along the Gulf up into northern Florida and southern Georgia, but notice migraine stresses here across even in southern Florida. Another area of migraine stress, eastern Tennessee, across North Carolina, Virginia, and then along the eastern seaboard, really from extreme portions of New Jersey, that is, across eastern Massachusetts, up to New Hampshire and across Maine. We also have some migraine stresses here in eastern North Dakota and northern Minnesota. The asthma stresses, asthma and arthritis, here across Arkansas into western Tennessee, but a more significant area of asthma and arthritis stress here in eastern Nebraska, across Iowa, and trying to make its way into Michigan, and really swinging back across northern Wisconsin. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.